The phrase lost continent always makes me wonder, how exactly does one lose a whole continent? Like, where did it go? Scientists have spent nearly 10 years piecing this one together, a frame-by-frame breakdown of 240 million years of history to give us a picture of a lost continent they're calling Greater Adria. And it turns out it's not truly gone, it's underneath us. Well, mostly underneath southern Europe, but let's go back to the beginning. About 240 million years ago, this Greenland-sized landmass was part of the Gondwana supercontinent, wedged in with its North African and European counterparts. About 20 million years later, it decided to make a break for it, and it started separating from Africa, and in another 40 million years, it became a truly independent continent. We don't know a whole lot about what it may have been like, but researchers are pretty sure it was largely submerged, maybe with some bits sticking up here or there. This is because they found that for most of history, almost all of it was covered in marine sediments until about 100 million years ago, when it started to go crunch. On its journey towards self-discovery, floating about on the Earth's surface thanks to continental drift, Greater Adria encountered what is now southern Europe. And when tectonic plates encounter each other, one plate has to go under the other, which is called subduction. This process can be relatively short, where one plate doesn't go very far under the other, or one continent can be totally subsumed by the other. This process of continental collision often smooshes the plates up to form mountains, like in the example of the Himalayas. In the case of Greater Adria, it meets southern Europe and it shatters into pieces and is sucked under its opposing continental plate, where it gets officially lost in Earth's syrupy mantle. But as it goes, its top layer gets scraped off and shoved up instead of down, forming part of the Apennine Mountains in central Italy. This is how we get marine fossils on top of mountains. Those marine sediment layers on the top layer of a continent like Greater Adria get scraped off during subduction and carried upward into mountain formation. Colliding plates are a messy and chaotic business, and these relics of a lost continent, mostly chunks of limestone, are sprinkled all over the Mediterranean. This means the continental remnants are spread out across borders. And geoscience agencies tend to have developed their own logic and ways of thinking about these kinds of geological processes, so piecing together all of it to form a whole picture was challenging in ways even beyond the science. These hurdles were partly why this data took so long to amass, but also just because of the sheer number of pieces of the continent there were to puzzle together. Each sample of rock from this continent, its size, shape, composition, is its own data point. And from there, the researchers could reverse engineer the path of the continent as it met its demise. Because even though what we're talking about sounds kind of cataclysmic and violent, all of this motion is happening over tens of millions of years. So when the researchers say they think that Greater Adria spun counterclockwise as it subducted down into the depths, we're really talking about 3 to 4 centimeters per year rate of change in position here. And there's other exciting work that's excavating evidence of lost continents. This same research team has also used seismic waves to pulse the mantle, generating an image a little bit like a medical imaging scan to see what's hanging out in the Earth's mantle. They're creating what they like to call an atlas of the underworld, or the first complete mapping of subducted tectonic plates that have ended up in the Earth's mantle. Using these methods, they've seen evidence of Greater Adria up to 1,500 kilometers below the surface of the Earth. Deep stuff. If you want even more on crazy cool things lurking below Earth's crust, let us know over on Twitter and Instagram. We're at Seeker, and I'm on there too, at MarinB. Make sure you keep coming back to Seeker for all of your groundbreaking geoscience discoveries, and thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.